We want to go ahead and leave this in here because this will be how fast our character moves around. Give them some gravity, and this looks good. Move. Let's see. Do we want to change? Yeah, no, that looks pretty good. So this is the basics of having this move around. Now this isn't going to link up to our controller yet. This would be if you were to have a controller set up in your input in the project settings. So if you went into project settings here, so edit, project settings, input, under axis here, you have your horizontal and your vertical. So that's where it's picking this up. This is your default Unity functionality. But what we really want is to link this up to the Ouya controller, and the Ouya controller does not use this input manager settings. So let's go ahead and start setting up our Ouya inputs. So we're going to go ahead and do a try catch around this. This was kind of like how Tim Groupman, he kind of said that this was a necessary thing to do, and just to make sure that nothing slips through the cracks here. So we're going to go catch system.exception ex, and I'm not going to actually log anything. So the first thing we want to do is set up a developer ID. So that should be available in your Ouya profile, and it's a string. That's not how you spell string. Ouya developer ID. We'll do ID like that. And so first thing we want to do is initialize the Ouya SDK. So we want to go Ouya SDK. Now this actually comes with your Unity package. So under Ouya SDK, there's an Ouya and scripts. There's an Ouya SDK file, and that's what we're actually referring to. So we go Ouya SDK.initialize, and we want to pass it your developer ID. So developer ID. Now you notice that I didn't set anything here, but I'm going to put empty dot string dot empty. But you would put your actual Ouya developer key. So once the SDK is initialized, we need to listen for the events. So we want to go Ouya SDK dot, we need to register. We'll start off with a button listener, and we want to go new Ouya SDK dot input button event. No, wait, a listener. We want the listener, and it's a type of Ouya SDK dot input button event. There we go. And we're going to go here, and we can do this. Now we want to delegate some methods for on success and on failure. So nice, it already pops up here. So if we go on success equals Ouya SDK dot input. Wait, why isn't that popping up for me? Not exactly sure why that didn't pop up. It should have popped up. DK dot. Huh. must be my super speedy computer. So input button event, and this is what's going to actually be passed to our success. And this I just learned is how you do kind of a delegate function inside of an existing function. And what we want to do is register the input event on success. We want it to kind of pass that into this really handy class that Tim Grootman put together for us, and it's inside of our I think it's in the examples actually. It might be. Here we go. So we have an Ouya Input Manager, and basically this kind of like maps everything out for you. Another really nice thing about this is, actually let me open this up and we can take a little bit closer look at it.
If we go, where was it? Examples, scripts, Ouya Input Manager.
If you take a look at it, it's checking to see if you're on the Android platform, and it does all of the mappings for you, and it gets all the access points for you, and it does all of the handling for you. But a really nice thing is that if you're not on the Android platform, it's supposed to return back your generic inputs. So where was he doing that? I saw it here somewhere. Here it is. See? So if it's not on the Ouya, the input access is actually returning back just the access, and acts as Unity's default. So that way you can kind of use the same Ouya script. You don't have to write something new. You can use this method, and with both building for a PC or an iOS or whatever, you should be able to still use this script, and it should filter right through. I haven't tested that yet, but in theory you should be able to kind of just use this as a generic input manager, and you wouldn't have to change any code. So for now, what we want to do is kind of register this information so that this static class can actually handle our inputs, and then we have some really nifty functionality that I'll show you. So we want to go the Ouya Input Manager dot handle, since we're doing a button event. I'm going to handle the button event, and we're just going to go ahead and pass that input event into this into the static class. And I think I need to do the on failure too. Let me see. So we'll put a comma here, and I think we do on failure, and we want to do kind of the same sort of thing. Now, I don't really, oh wait, this doesn't pass the same parameters. So we have an error code string error message. So just so you can see what I'm looking at here, where did it go? There we go. So he made a really nice article about how to set all this stuff up. So this is exactly the same thing that I'm showing you right now. He's showing step by step exactly what needs to be done here, and that's how I am doing this. So you could put a failure if like the handler didn't register properly. You could put some sort of failure code here.